morning. How is everyone today? Well, I missed you. Yesterday, YouTube was down almost all day, and so I didn't upload anything. I'm sorry for all those of you that had nothing to do. There are a million videos, I suppose, that you could have looked at. But the old format, I put I put my YouTube back at the old format. But you may need to make sure that yours is at the old format, or else you'll be seeing it in the new format. But mine is definitely in the old format. The new one is just, there's no way to follow consecutive videos with the old one, the new one. Anyway, so I missed you. Did you miss me too? I suppose you did. I made a really nice long video first thing in the morning, and then when I came back in, instead of saying done, it was saying processing. So it was processing all day long, and I realized at the end of the day that I wasn't going to do anything, so I quit it. But I did make you a video yesterday. Anyway, so I got up early, well, not early, 7:45, and I have been working in the bathroom. Yesterday I painted all the walls with the anti-mold paint because I figured that even though I was going to paint it with a different color on top, I wanted that anti-mold paint to keep the mold from coming through. I'm learning in my old age. And this morning, of course, it was all dry. Oh, and I also painted the floor because the floor is made of the piece of wood I put down. If it gets wet, it'll get moldy, it'll get ruined. So I just painted the entire floor right over to the edges of the bathroom. And today I painted the wall color on the walls right up to the ceiling, and I don't think I got any on the ceiling because I did do that nice cutting job. Sort of nice job, I don't know. Anyway, won't worry about it. And the floor is dry, so I was able to work in there and do that. And now I just need to wait for it to, well, I have to cut a little bit around the handicap bar and the paper towel rod. It's a paper towel rod with a shelf on it. That's because we have a bidet in there, which is just a hose, a T-junction behind the toilet. Anyway, so I have to do a little cutting in there today, and then but that's not near the floor. I went right down to the floor. There is no base trim. Went right down to the floor with this wall color, which is a tan. And I guess I need to do the trim next. Well, I'm ready to put the floor down. It's going to be 72 by 64. I've got it written on my hand, and my roll is about 6 inches too narrow. That's okay, so we'll end up adding a strip. But where do you add it? Wherever you add it, if you add it near water, and water spills, it'll get down under it. So I don't want to add it behind the toilet. I don't want to add it behind the vanity. And I don't want to add it in front of the bathtub. So I guess the only place to add it then is across under the window. But see, then you have the vanity and the toilet that could get into that area. This is one of those floors that you don't need to glue down. Well, what is that going to be like if you don't glue it down and you have a seam? I think it needs to be glued down. Well, anyway, so that's the situation at the moment. And I'm wearing a hat for you. You like my hat? So let's get on with it. See, but you know, when I was thinking about it, it's so simple, you know, do the walls, and then I'm, say at freestanding, just put down the floor, put in the toilet, put in the vanity, and I'm done. But each of these is going to have its own complications, isn't it? I did change the electrical fixture in the ceiling. That was good. Don't have the little screws that hold the globes on. I was able to get globes at the dump when I got the fixture, but they didn't go with it, I don't think. Anyway, now I need those little tiny screws. There's no other light I could rob them from. Anyway, so I will do the trim, I guess, now. I need to use my white. The trim is going to be white and the walls are a tan. It's the same as Avy's room. That's what Virginia and Bo did when they were here. Anyway, I'm getting on with it. It's taking me forever. Mostly because I didn't feel like getting out of the chair. That slows you down a lot. Anyway, I didn't get much done. And, well, anyway, it is what it is. So I've got the walls done with the anti-mold and the floor done with the anti-mold. Well, I put the, you know what I did with this whole room? Let me just go through it with you. First of all, the toilet was broken in half or such. So Abraham unscrewed it and took it out for me. Thank you very much, Abraham. I told him how to unscrew the plumbing behind it. So he took it out, and that's gone. And then, so all the plumbing for it is still here because that's attached to the house. And then I remember when I had to cut through the pipes under the vanity, because under the sink, because I couldn't find the right way to do it. Couldn't undo any connections, so I just cut them. Anyway, so after that, and then Abraham took that out. No, I took that out. That's right. Was he here? Maybe he took out the vanity. Yes, he took it all out for me, but I had cut it. Okay. And then I had the water for the house turned off, so I had to put little cutoffs or shut-offs. I had to put them in on those hot and cold pipes under the sink so that I could turn the water back on for the house. Well, that is so simple. Those little cutoffs are little tiny things. You just push it down over. I did a video on how to do it. You push it down over the pipe, screw it down, and it holds. It doesn't leak. I may have only screwed it hand tight even. No, I probably found the right one. Right wrench and did it. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it was just hand tight. Anyway, turn the water back on and it worked. No leaks. Then I had to put down a floor because the toilet sewer pipe, when it was replaced, it was done not by a plumber. It was done by a friend, and it was left about a half an inch above the level of the floor. So we had to put the toilet on it last time, and it rocked, broke the seal, the wax seal, and leaked. So we took that off, put on a new seal, put it down again. Again it rocked and broke the seal. And so it leaked under the floor, and don't worry, it wasn't sewage, it was water. And it leaked around the edges of that and got under the floor and made this big stain under the linoleum. Okay? So I needed to have the level of the floor raised up. So I got this piece of door board, which you make flimsy interior doors out of. And I had bought it and it was too thick. It was about a 1/4 inch or about that thick. What's that? Half a centimeter. No. Well, it wasn't a whole, well, anyway, it's about the width I needed for this toilet. Anyway, so I put it in there. I cut it to fit. I kept bringing it in and out and cutting it with my skill saw until I had it all fit around all the pipes and entrances and exits. And then I had to start. I thought I was going to just paint next. No, I had Abraham came home the next weekend, so this took a week of that. Abraham came home the next weekend and painted the ceiling with the anti-mold paint. He scraped it, he painted it twice. And then I cut around the edges of the ceiling with the tan, and cut all the corners and everywhere with that. And then I painted it with the anti-mold. No, back up. After Abraham did the ceiling, he also had to remove parts of the walls. There were also already parts that were missing, and so he put the drywall in there and taped and mudded it. And he cut behind the sink where somebody said, I wish I could remember which one of you ever says things, because it would sure help me keep straight my dealings, my life with each of you. Anyway, I went in there the next day after it was taped and mudded, and I could see the bumpy, it was the mesh tape that I got him to use. And so it needed another layer. So I put another layer of mud on it, and I found other holes. I got the tiles. There were 3 tiles that were on the wall that had been sort of a backsplash to the side of the vanity. I sawed them off. They didn't come off with a saw. They came off with a scraper and a chisel, a hammer and a flat putty knife. So I got them off. This was a lot of work, actually, when you think about all these parts. I removed all the hardware from the sides from the walls, everything that was screwed on, and then I painted it all with mold paint. I had to sand all that. That took a long time to dry, that mud, so I sanded it all. I did pretty good with the seams of the corners. I did it once on the farm, and I did the corners, but I rounded them with my finger by putting mud in the corners with my finger. Then when I put wallpaper on, it was difficult. But we're not putting wallpaper in there, so we're okay. But anyway, I didn't round much of it. It's pretty good. I used to have a tool that was an angled mudding or drywall knife that was angled, like a corner. And you could just go right up the edge. But oh, what a job mudding was. Anyway, so I sanded all that yesterday, got that all perfect. I had already cut around the edges with the new color, and I was waiting for this last bit of mud to dry. Okay, and then yesterday I painted the room with the mold paint instead of stuff. I went over a lot of my cutting because I realized that was really important to do. And today that's dry. I finished. I used up a little more of that paint up around the edges of the bathtub area, and then I put the tan on. So right now there's tan on all the walls in there, except part where I went above the tiles of the bathtub. Remember, I replaced this whole bathroom. I mean, I had the floor out. It was open to the ground, and I put in a new bathtub. I did 57 things of connections of copper pipe, which I had figured out how to do because I did stained glass. I figured I could do that. I can do difficult things. And sure enough, I could. And I had tiled all the way up around the bathtub, up almost to the ceiling, but not quite. Would have been better if I'd gone all the way to the top, right? I could still go to the top. Why not? It doesn't have an edging on it. That's a good idea. Wouldn't have to worry about the mold. Tile the ceiling too. Anyway, so now the final, the tan color is all over in there on the ceiling or on the walls. It's all ready. I just need to cut around a couple things, and I have measured the floor, and today I put the floor in. And that's the truth. You can do this at home. Yes, you can. You can do anything. Results may differ. I like saying that. Okay, you guys go have a good day, but don't forget to say your prayers. Bye.